In recent days, historic events have been hidden from public view, but they can no longer be ignored. What's underway goes far beyond traditional politics. We're talking about a global shift, silent to some, but thunderous to those who follow the signs. Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin met in Alaska, at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson. Officially, a simple diplomatic encounter. But behind the scenes, the meeting marked the beginning of a new political and economic era. There, far from the eyes of the traditional system, a process was set in motion that completely changes the way the world understands power, money, and sovereignty. Backstage information indicates that this meeting was not a staged event. It was strategic. Confidential maps were presented, evidence of illicit routes was exposed, and most importantly, concrete negotiations were concluded to align the Russian financial system with the quantum financial system, the so-called QFS. The QFS emerges as the backbone of a new global economic model, free from the control of private banks and globalist organizations. A true reconfiguration, comparable to Bretton Woods, but this time without the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and the families that for centuries dictated global monetary rules. Meanwhile, the old order is collapsing. The dollar, without backing, no longer holds the same strength as before. Global inflation, financial scandals, and market manipulations show that the fiduciary model has reached its limit. It is in this scenario that a gold-backed currency begins to be presented as the answer. Trump, accompanied by the military alliance, made it clear he was never removed from real command. Biden was merely a stand-in, a necessary theater piece to keep the stage set until the time for change arrived. That time has come. And now, the promise is that there will be no concessions to traitors or room for old power plays. Putin, for his part, didn't go to the meeting to pose for the cameras. He went to coordinate. The objective is clear: to align the powers beyond the reach of the so-called deep state. The message sent to the world was direct. The future is no longer being written in financial boardrooms on Wall Street or in forums of international elites, but inside American military installations, under the command of those who truly control power. This movement marks not only an economic transition, but also a political one. Mass arrests are being prepared, shocking revelations are coming, and a new structure of financial governance is being consolidated before our eyes. All this while the mainstream media remains silent, repeating superficial narratives and failing to report on what truly matters. We are living in the first phase of something that is redefining the destiny of humanity. Many don't yet realize it, but the gears are already turning. It's a process comparable to a domino. Each falling piece accelerates the fall of the next, until the entire board is reconfigured. And here is the reward for those who stayed until the end. Understanding this movement in real time is a privilege. This isn't mere speculation, but rather an observation of how major global actors, far from the spotlight, sign agreements that forever change the course of history. If you want to continue following this unfiltered information, subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications. This is the only way to ensure you receive the content directly, without relying on platforms that try to hide the truth. Stay tuned for the next video, and receive our sincere thanks. Our loyal audience has now become more than followers. They are true friends and brothers on this journey through time.